All right. Mic's on up here, if you can, please, if they're not already. All right, thank you for your patience. I'd like to reconvene the regular meeting of the Orion Township Board of Trustees for Monday, March 16th at 7:08 p.m. Thank you for your patience. We had a budget workshop this evening, so we've been up here for a while, so thanks for giving us a break to catch our breath. We've already called the roll, and we've handled item 2, which was our millage workshops, and now, I said budget, I meant to say millage. We always do start our meetings with an invocation and pledge. Mr. Trustee Lovett's going to lead us in the invocation, and you will all join us in the pledge. So please stand and stay standing.
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight asking for your healing hand and comfort for those in need. We lift up our fellow trustee, John Carson, and pray that your healing hand continues to restore his health and strength. Bless him with patience and peace as he recovers. We also pray for all in our community who are facing illness, injury, or hardship. Strengthen their families, friends, and caregivers as you walk beside them. Your word reminds us he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. May your healing presence be with all of them. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And yes, quick update. We've had lots of people asking, how is our friend John? My hunch is he's probably listening to us, so hi, John, whatever camera's on. And Daphne is in his seat tonight. Thank you, Daphne. But I think I think the community knows because they've been looking out for John and supporting him. He had some pretty serious open heart surgery on Friday. It sounds from all accounts it went better than expected, but he has certainly a long road of recovery and certainly appreciates all our thoughts and good wishes and prayers. So cheering for you, John. Next item on tonight's agenda is we take a couple minutes every month to recognize our brightest and best citizens. And I don't think he knows why he's here, but our Citizen of the Month this month is the one and only Joe Johnson. So if you don't know Joe, you're not from our community, and I cannot believe we've never recognized you. We've been doing this, I think, almost 10 years, and I'm just going to tell you a few things that Joe's done. He's the man behind the camera, but it's way, way more than that. He's a great friend to our community. He cares. He's been in community media since the 80s. You're old, Joe. There is no bigger supporter that I can think of our community than Joe Johnson. He's literally at every single event. He is Orion. He's been an advocate for First Amendment and free speech throughout his career. He is a history buff. He is a movie buff. You can't find anyone that cares more about our history and there's no one that loves movies more than Joe, and I love to hear about his adventures when he gets to Hollywood and other great places. He started the newscast here in the 90s, taught classes, recorded years of history, left for a little bit, but 10 years later he landed back here, but he regularly wins the ACM Awards, which is like the Oscars for public access. He's won lots of those. For the news camp, he does a kids camp. He's actually teaching a class here that I told him, to ask him if he could start it a little bit later tonight because I lied to him. That's not what we were doing, Joe. But he is the backbone of Orion Neighborhood Television. No disrespect to the other folks down there. And his commitment's immeasurable. Just last week, we got to talk. He did this amazing stuff on Jimmy Hoffa because the last place Jimmy Hoffa was seen before Marcus Red Fox was right here in town. And Joe has uncovered stuff that was never discovered about that story, including interviewing James Hoffa Jr. last week here in Orion. So if he loves his Ford Mustang, but most importantly, we're celebrating Joe for his complete dedication to our community, to community media, and his lasting contributions to preserving and celebrating the history and the people of Orion with our March 2026, Citizen of the Month Award, Mr. Joe Johnson. Come on down. He's always behind the camera. You're in front of the camera this time. So come back here. Let's get a picture. Everybody get together. Going on the Wall of Fame, and then I'll say anything if you so choose.
Yeah, I first came out to this community in late 1993, started our newscast the very next year, and been a part of this community for more than 30 years now. I did work elsewhere for a short time, but I continued to live here in this community. And I can say there's no community like it in this state, maybe in this country. Everyone's so giving and loving, and I have more friends now than I ever have in my life. I love the support that I get from this community. I love what I do every day I come into work. I feel bad for people who don't like what they do for a living, because I love what I do and get up every afternoon with enthusiasm, and usually work till 9 p.m. at the studio. But I love it, and I'm just so humbled and grateful for this, because like you said, I prefer to be behind the camera and behind the scenes, and I really do appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you, Joe. And by the way, not just the board members next to me, but I have lots of community members that watch our meetings that say, have you guys ever recognized Joe Johnson? So lots of people love you. So congrats. One more quick good news update that we just popped in right before this, but our Parks and Rec team was in Lansing last week, 2 weeks ago? And we won 2 amazing awards. So we won a design from the M-Parks Association, which is the Michigan Parks and Rec Association. We won the design award for landscape at our new Heritage Park on Baldwin Road for creative uses of land, including gardens, interpretive paths, art installation, and conservation projects, and their social media campaign award for our Wildlife Wednesday series. And if you don't follow the Parks page and see those videos, they're remarkable. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Aaron, but congrats to the Parks and Rec team, and follow their page and check out Wildlife Wednesdays and see all the cool things crawling around our woods. So congrats. All right, moving on to bills. That's the most awkward transition always in these meetings. The good news to paying our bills. The bill run is in front of you tonight, and I'd entertain a motion if someone's ready.
I will move to approve the bills, invoices in the amount of $2,035,306.28. Payroll in the amount of $565,681.87, for a total of $2,600,988.15.
Support. Okay, moved by Hilgendorf and supported by Dalrymple. Any comments or questions from board members? Any public comment on the bill run? Seeing no one run forward, I ask for a roll call vote, please.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Hilgendorf.
Yes.
Barnett.
Yes.
Lovett.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes.
The bills are paid. Motion passes 6-0. Next item on tonight's agenda is brief public comment. This is for any item that's not on tonight's agenda. The board does not respond. Ask that you direct your comments to me, the chair. Keep them to 3 minutes. We will try to answer questions later in the meeting, or you can always reach out to us during office hours. And this is for items not on the agenda. If you hear about something that is on the agenda, we ask that you wait till that point in the meeting. Would anyone like to give public comment about a non-agenda item? A missing phone. Oh, someone's calling it too. All right, no one's rushing forward on non-agenda items. We'll close that, and we'll bring it up here to approval of tonight's agenda. We have a couple additions here. Does anybody want to? Well, I'll mention the things that I see that I think we need to add, and then if I'm missing something, someone can let me know. First, we have, it looks like an amended agenda item cover summary for the item 9C, correct? Yes. So that's not changing the agenda, but just an agenda summary for that. We'd like to add 2 items, both to pending business. First, I'd like to add a resolution in opposition to some really terrible housing bills in Lansing. I'd like to add that as 9F, pending item, 9E. We have D, go to E. Yep. And then the Knights of Columbus Peddler solicitor request for their collection drive. I'd like to add that to, it says pending. Do you still want that? Do you want that on pending?
No, it can go to consent.
Does anybody care if we move that to consent?
No, fine.
Okay, we'll add that to consent, 8QR, 8R. A of C, Peddler solicit, okay. Those are my proposed changes. Are there any other changes or a motion to approve as amended?
Mr. Supervisor, I would move to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Flood, supported by Mr. Pfeiffer. Any comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We have a plan for the evening. Next is our consent agenda. All these items will be approved with one vote. Items A through R now. So if you're here to address the board on any of these items, we'd ask you to come to the podium now for your opportunity for public comment. The items we'll be approving tonight on our consent agenda are minutes from, 3 sets of minutes from meetings, cost estimate from our March 2nd meeting, adoption of the MTA Principles of Governance, a grant agreement with the Michigan Association of Seniors and Molina Healthcare of Michigan, uniform video service local franchise agreement with DirecTV, approving some repairs on the Van Tassel Bridge over the Paint Creek, approving an escrow agreement with ITC, the high transmission lines, approving agenda management software upgrade and community engagement portal, approving a special permit request for the Orion Library for their 100-year birthday party, our 2026 road chloride program, a request to solicit from the VFW for their Buddy Poppy program, a resolution to approve a fee schedule for peddlers and solicitors. That came from our last meeting as well. Policy updates from the clerk and from Parks and Rec. Purchasing a vehicle for the fire department. Amendment number 5 of our water service contract for the Great Lakes Water Authority and the North Oakland County Water Authority. And this one we just added, the Knights of Columbus, peddlers and solicitors, Tootsie Roll Drive. That's a lot. Is there a motion to approve the consent? And the reason I read it all is because we know lots of folks watch from home and they can't see everything we see all the time. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as amended with the addition of letter R, peddler's approval for KFC.
Support. Okay, any comments first from board members on any of these items?
Note, for item O, the policy updates, I had a discussion with Chief of Staff and also with our Parks and Rec Director today. For the policy 56 for Parks and Rec, an additional item to change on there to modify the policy. It starts off with pursuant to the Charter Township of Orion, ordinance number 132, section 3E, as amended May 16th, 2011. And the appropriate section is actually 4E, and it's been amended since then. So we think it would be best to just have it say pursuant to the Charter Township of Orion, ordinance number 132, as amended, and leave out the extra part.
What policy was that again? I'm sorry.
56 on the Parks and
Sorry.
Rec policy.
So one of the things we're doing for board members and public, we're going through all of our policies, thanks to our chief of staff, and dusting them off and figuring out what needs to be updated. And lots of them have been stale for many, many years. So thankfully, we have people like Carrie, who's an actuary in her day job and finds these fine details. But yes, so we'll make that change. Brittany, do we need to do anything besides just note that here?
No, I consider it a minor administrative change.
Okay. So we will note that change. Thank you for that, Carrie. Was there anything else you wanted to?
I just wanted to say thank you to anyone that's involved with doing these policy updates. It's much appreciated to get things consistent with one another, so I appreciate that.
Yes. Any other board comments on that or any other items? Go ahead.
I want to say a big thank you to Brittany and her team from Granicus. We are looking at this agenda management solution along with some other community engagement pieces. They spent a lot of time with our PC board, our ZBA, and our township board to make sure that everyone got to put their eyes on it. And we are excited for the changes that are coming in that solution.
Yes, agreed. Thank you. Excited about that as well. More to come. Any other, Mr. Flood?
Might want to mention about the 26th road, gravel road chlorine program. We're back in that again. Gonna make sure our gravel roads in this township get properly, that's the Oakland County roads that are gravel, not the private roads.
That's correct. I pulled the wrong page.
we're participating in that again, getting those,
Yep, and by the way, if you want to look at the 794 pages that we are, you can. They're all on our website. It's on, if you go to the board page, you can review all these things while you're sitting here or watching from home. But yes, we budget for this every year. It's never enough, but we do the best we can on the gravel roads. And I will note that we have met with the road commission, and we budgeted and are planning the most robust installation of gravel on all of our gravel roads in more than a decade this summer, assuming that the material is available. Last year, they ran out of material and labor to put it down, but we hopefully will get an early jump this year. Any other board comments? I would just share, you covered the couple things. Yeah, those, I won't have nothing more to add. Any public comment on any of these items, A through R? Seeing no one run forward, let's do a roll call vote, please. Clerk Dalrymple?
Lovett.
Yes.
Hookendorf.
Yes.
Flood.
yes.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes. Barnett.
Yes. Motion passes 6-0. Next, we move to tonight's consent agenda. We have 5 items tonight. First is a request from the Lake Orion Lions Club for the Jubilee Special Event. This is on page 259. Before us tonight, the Lake Orion Lions Club, with the development and growth of the village, are looking for a new place to have their annual event. That's their largest fundraiser. So we've been meeting with them, and we think we have a great plan. And I see Matt's trying to raise his hand, so I'm going to stop talking and let you jump in here, Mr. Pfeiffer.
I'm excited. I move to approve the outdoor assembly permit application submitted by the Lake Orion Lions Club for 2026 Lions Club Jubilee to take place at Wildwood Amphitheater located at 2700 Joslin Court, Orion Township, Michigan, 48360, contingent upon completion of all conditions as provided for by the building official and fire marshal and approved site inspections prior to opening.
Support.
Okay, moved by Pfeiffer and supported by Mr. Flood. I want to give credit to Mr. Pfeiffer and Fire Department, Building Department here. We know this has been a pain point, and it's a really important event to the Lions Club. And the greatest thing about the Lions Club is 100% of the money they take in, they put right back into our community. And so we can't thank them enough, and we know there's been challenges with the sites downtown, but I want to thank our the directors that have reviewed this. This is where the plan is, and this isn't the best necessarily map, but it basically would be taking place. Civic Center Park, Wildwood would be the area where their music and things would be, and then the rides will be along Joslin Court and in the parking areas around the soccer fields, essentially, and Wildwood Amphitheater. You had your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I just want to call out that this was, there's a lot of contention with things that were happening with this getting denied in the village with some. And we're always going to put the safety of our residents first and foremost. And so I actually supported the decision of the village council to deny based on the recommendation of our fire marshal not being able to approve it. It didn't match code. And so for anybody who's upset or thinks this is anything that said nothing to do with township village, this has everything to do with safety of the residents and support of one of our most beloved charities and groups in the community, which is the Lions Club. So together, we're going to make this thing happen, and I think with time, I think it's going to end up being a great location going forward. There's just too much happening in the village for this to make sense. There's a lot of, believe it or not, businesses that weren't excited about this in the village, and it impacted their businesses negatively. This gives us an opportunity to stand on its own and to build a new tradition, or at least the same tradition in a new location. And I just really commend everybody at the Lions Club for their hard work and scrambling to reassess, readjust, along with the township team. It's going to be a great event, and thank you for all you guys do for
And a representative is here if we need to speak with them. I'll just say one more thing, that some of the things say contingent upon, and that's because this has moved quickly, and they need to let the carnival company know if they're coming to Lake Orion or not this year. So I can tell you, we've met a lot with the fire chief and his team, the building official and his team. Talked to the lieutenant for public safety side of things. Water and sewer's been involved, but we're confident they're gonna get all those things done. So that's why it's here tonight, so they can, hopefully, if this is successful, let the carnival company know and move forward. So I don't know, I don't think you need to add anything unless you really want to. If there's questions for Lions Club, Roger Broder's here. Thank you for being here. That can speak to that. Are there any other comments or questions from board members? Is there any?
Can I do one follow-up comment? I apologize.
I mean, I can't tell you no, so.
I apologize. For those who haven't been here their whole life, I want to remind you that our biggest festival back when I was a kid was located right across the street from this. So I've heard some people say, oh, it's, you know, it's hard at that location. We had for years something called the Donut Festival, where we had the King and Queen Donut, the Donut King and Donut Queen. And that used to take part at what's now Canterbury Village, what was called the Antique Village. It's the same area. It's going to be a great event. And so for those that didn't know the history, there you go. Thanks, sorry.
No problem, thank you. All right, any public comment? Seeing no one run forward, the motion is to approve, subject to this few conditions that need to be met, made by Pfeiffer, supported by Flood. Let's, we're not spending money. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. All right, next item on tonight's agenda is first reading of a rezone request. This is Planning Commission Case 2026-12. This is Towns at Forest Glen Conditional Rezone Request. Before us tonight, let me just pull this up so I can, thank you. It's 6 parcels on Baldwin. I'll pull those up in a minute once I share some information. The recommendation is to rezone from single family, well, there's different things there. It's all in the memo. But it's single family and restricted business to multiple family residential, or RM1, with conditions in accordance with the concept plan depicting 55 townhomes. So this group came and presented to the Planning Commission on March 4th. They recommended approval. I believe it was a unanimous recommendation of approval for the conditional rezone request. That's all that's before us tonight is the conditional rezone. We're not approving the site plan or anything like that, but we will show that because that's what was presented. You can see the options there. And then the applicant is here, and would you like to show us some things?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me push the right button here. There we go.
Perfect.
Please introduce yourself, and
Will do.
the floor is yours.
Good evening, Supervisor Barnett and Township Trustees. My name is Brandon Guest. I'm the Director of Entitlements for MI Homes of Michigan, 40950 Woodward Avenue, Bloomfield Hills, 48304. With me, I have several of my associates, Frank Lucido, our land analyst, Brad Botham, our Director of Land Acquisitions, David Straub, our VP of Land Acquisitions for MI Homes of Michigan, and our design engineer on the project, Jason Rickard with SKE Group. I am excited to be here tonight to put forth our request for conditional rezoning after receiving a positive recommendation from the Planning Commission as indicated on March 4th. I know a large portion of my presentation to the PC was included within your packet, but we do feel it's important that the board know who is looking to do business in Orion Township. I promise to keep it brief. MI Homes was founded in 1976 by Melvin and Irving Schottenstein in Columbus, Ohio. We are publicly traded. We are the 13th largest builder in the U.S. by volume. Since our incorporation, we've had over 150,000 homes we've delivered nationwide, with 8,500 delivered in the last 12 months. We are Detroit. We came to the market in 2018. And we are on track to deliver just shy of 300 homes in Metro Detroit in 2026. We have 17 divisions in 10 states. Both locally and nationally, we strive to bring great communities to market through both the design of our communities and the architectural components of our houses. These include an emphasis on activated open space, including walkability, amenities, and harmonious interaction with the existing natural features. Elegantly landscaped entrances, with harmonious monumentation, a housing mix suited for a broad range of buyer profiles and price points, with square footage bands between 1,500 and 2,700 square feet. We also make a concerted effort for internally controlled similar exterior color packages to enhance streetscapes. Before you, you have two examples of our activated open space that we have in the market. One is Autumn Park in Washington Township. The other is Trailside Meadow in White Lake. Again, our entryways, very thought out with both landscape and monumentation. And then, as presented, we have our exteriors of our townhomes that we're currently bringing to the market. Tonight, as indicated tonight, we are here to present you with a petition to continue conditionally rezone 6 parcels and part of a 7th to RM1. The assemblage is northeast of the Baldwin and Mabee Road intersection. As part of our conditional rezone request, we put forth 7 conditions as indicated in your packet. The site may only be developed as townhomes, limited to 55 units, and 225 parking spaces, or 4 parking spaces per unit, plus an additional 5 guest parking spots. We also would stipulate that all deciduous trees would have a 2.5 caliber per inch when it is planted. All evergreen trees would be a minimum of 8 feet tall. A 5-foot trail network on top of the sidewalks on both sides of the road would connect to an active, family-oriented program space. And a 75-foot setback to existing residential parcels. MI Homes believes developing these parcels as townhomes allows us to design around the existing natural features, specifically the woodlands and the brown drain on the east side of the project. Again, limiting the maximum unit count to 55 allows the utilization of the multifamily zoning to save and benefit from the existing natural features, but also limiting the utilization of the R1 zoning, which would allow for another 12 units if we went straight rezone. We are putting forth a plan to include 4 parking spots per unit, 2 in the garage, 2 on the apron, with an additional 5 guest parking spots. This would equal 225 parking spots. A straight RM1 zoning would only require 134. We are stipulating a 68% increase of parking. We believe upsizing the landscaping materials within the community is best both for our residents, but it also is for the benefit of our neighbors who we heard at the Planning Commission, and for the township working towards its open space and environmental goals. Walkability, interconnections, and active spaces are the best design practices and are also an identified goal of Orion Township. We plan to include these features shall we be approved for our conditional rezoning. The existing R2 zoning requires a 35-foot setback, and the RM1 zoning mandates a 10-foot green belt. We are putting forth a 75-foot setback to all existing residential neighbors. On the screen, we have the conceptual site plan. I don't know if now is the time for questions or if.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Thank you.
And
Okay. Are there, we will have public comment, but not yet. First is an opportunity for board to ask questions. At this time, are there any questions from board members, or Mr. Lovett,
Yeah,
as a
I've got
representative
one.
to the Planning Commission, you can speak?
So the 7 stipulations that you guys put on, so I know this is just a rezone, but since they brought those to us, we hold them to those? Like the unit count and everything like that?
It's a conditional rezone, so the offers have to be unprovoked by us, and then there'll be a conditional rezone agreement. If the first reading passes, we'll work on it between the first and second reading. That will contain those criteria, and yes, they would be held to all of those.
Question.
Go ahead. Yep.
If a conditional rezoning was to be approved, that rezoning goes with the land, is that correct?
Yes, it stays with that land, and.
No
and
matter
they-
who owns that land?
Correct. And they would have to come back with a site plan, and then they would apply those things in addition to regular ordinance standards.
Ms. Dalrymple.
This open space in the back corner there, will the trees stay there in the open space, or are you looking to clear that land? What does that look like?
Ma'am, are you speaking to the northeast
Yeah.
portion? Yes, we are looking to retain as much of the existing land, woodlands as possible. Yes.
Any other comments or questions from board members? Yes.
On here, where would the additional parking go that is referenced?
It is right off of Baldwin Road. I don't know what the building would be on, what would be the
Move
northwest.
your mouse over that, that'd be good.
Thought it was an additional.
You say an additional 2 parking spaces per unit?
So there's 2 parking spaces within the garage, and then there are 2 on the driveway, and then there are the 5 guest parking spaces that are near the entranceway.
I think I got one more question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, don't mind at all.
So, the rezone stays with the land, but these stipulations don't.
Yes, they do.
They do, okay,
Yep.
cool.
If there was a future owner, for instance, if they didn't develop this, because it'll just be a rezone, if somebody else bought it, that person would be held to these conditions.
Gotcha.
But this plan is suggesting what it would look like with the unit count. They still have to go through site plans, so if we found that those couple visitor parking didn't meet setback or something, then they might move around slightly.
Gotcha, thank you.
This is an example.
Okay, any other questions from board members at this time? Thank you for your presentation. I think at this time, we'd entertain a motion, and then we'll have public comment. Yes, Mr. Flood.
I was gonna say, we should get a motion on the floor and then we
Yeah,
can have
yep.
comments. I move to declare the Board of Trustees held and approve the first reading on March 16, 2026 on PC 26-12. Towns at Forest Glen, request for a conditional rezone of 6 parcels located at 3315 South Baldwin Road, parcel 0929, 126-008, 3351 South Baldwin Road, parcel 0929, 126-009, 3353 South Baldwin Road, parcels 0929, 126-010, 3361 South Baldwin Road, parcel 0929, 126-060, 3371 South Baldwin Road, parcel 0929, 126-013, 3395 South Baldwin Road, parcel number 0929, 126-014, plus a portion of a 7th parcel located at 3437 South Baldwin Road, parcel number 0929, 126-068, from single-family residential R2 and restricted business RB to multiple-family residential RM1, with the applicant offered conditions for the reasons given by the Planning Commission at their March 4th, 2026 meeting, and direct the clerk to advertise for second reading and possible approval adoption on May 4th, 2026.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. This is a conditional rezone. One other thing I'll mention, and it's in our packet here, and you could see this on the website too, but this is in the Gingiville Overlay District, correct, Ms. Gerling? So the Gingiville Overlay District envisioned a mixed use of, a mixed development of uses. And the example that kind of best fits what was envisioned by the overlay district is what's due south of here, which has a transition from retail to more dense dense residential to less dense residential. So, that said, we have a motion support, and I'd like to open it up at this time to public comment. If anyone's here that wants to give public comment, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and then ask you to direct your comments to me, the chair. We won't do a back and forth. We will try to take down if there are questions or concerns that haven't been answered yet, and let the applicant answer those after they've all been heard. So with that, would anyone like to give public comment on this proposed development? Or, I'm sorry, this proposed rezone? Okay, seeing no one come forward, we will note, Mr. Flood?
Go ahead and finish what you want to say, Chris.
I was going to say, we will note that we did get some letters that are in our agenda packet from residents that abut the property, generally not in favor of the proposed rezoning. Mr. Flood?
Yes. The reason I'm in favor of this rezone, and I'm not talking about the site plan, that's further on down the road if it gets approved. We're strictly focused on rezoning this parcels. I like the way we're not gonna have the commercial extended from Bad Brad's all the way down to the end of the drive there on the Olson property. Breaks up that mixed use that we, like you said, immediately south of there, you see what you got. You got a strip mall, you've got the condominiums, you got a subdivision. This could, the way it's zoned right now, this could be all commercial along Baldwin, and this put in the back residential. And I like the idea of breaking that up a little bit. Because the last going, if you go north on there, the last commercial piece of property that's been approved would be that Kroger refueling station there, where the old bank was. And after that, it's all residential, all the way out to, you get to Clarkson Road. So I like the way this is, I like the idea that it's conditional. The 75-foot setbacks is major. That's almost double if you went in there with how it could be built today. And I think that's gonna address a lot of concerns for the residents there. Try to save as many of those trees, the Board of Regency there and along Mabee Road. So that's my comment.
Thank you. All right, any other board comments or questions? Yes, Ms. Hogan.
I agree with what Trustee Flood said, and I drive by there every single day, and I think those houses that were there were torn down probably like 6 years ago or so. And ever since then, I've been expecting to see businesses go in there, so to see something else proposed and to see this just be residential, and like you said, with the increase in the setbacks, that's, I was pleased to see.
Yeah. I echo that. I know, I read the letters, understand the sentiment that people, aren't excited about this that live right near there, but what could go there could be a much more intense use. We don't own the property. As you know, we are trying to buy more property and build parks, and we built 2 on Baldwin in the last 6 or 7 years. But we don't own this. And as far as uses go, I think this is a good use, and I echo what was said. I mean, you'll hear, if anyone sticks around at the end of the meeting, you'll hear, or to item E, and hear about this resolution on the housing bills. What could potentially go here if Lansing has their way would be about 10 times this density. And if you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. So I like this a lot better than some of the other things that I've seen in my time here. I've been here for 14 years. The owner, Bad Brad's, was talking at one point about putting an entertainment venue behind him with sand volleyball courts lit up and like building a bar back there and other things. And we didn't think that was a good transition either. So I think of all the things I've seen, and I've seen a bunch proposed here, this is probably the best I've seen, so.
Yeah, and there, I only see 3 letters, so I don't know if there were more, and one of them is actually supporting the project and 2 are against, and the one supporting makes reference of, I think what a lot of us look at now is, can we get lower density than is allowed, because the density is a stressor for the community in some ways. So the fact that the lower density option is being taken was appreciated by at least one of the residents in the area, of the three letters. So I didn't want to let the impression be that there were lots of letters against. There aren't.
All right, so I will close the discussion, and I misspoke, I just want to restate. We're approving tonight the conditional rezone, the first reading, we'll have a second reading still. And if those are both successful, then it will be up to the developer to submit a site plan, and that will go through the planning commission process. That will not come to the township board, that will then just go through the planning commission at that point. All right, I think we're good. Clerk Dalrymple, would you please call the roll?
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Lovett.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes. Barnett.
Yes.
Hogendorf.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is item, oh no, I pushed the wrong button. Thank you. Can you help me, Sam? Thank you. Thank you. Saved my life. Again, today. Oh. I think it might go off.
Yeah, right. Well, here's the party venue.
Blinded by the light.
I haven't done that in a while, but I did it again, so, hold on, let me just I'm gonna just turn it off for a minute. Yeah. Please hold. Turn it all the way off.
Or put the center screen down, that'd be nice.
Okay. I'm just gonna wait till it goes up, because I don't wanna mess it up.
Yep, you got it.
Control Alt Delete.
Modern technology, isn't it nice?
Okay. Me? Okay. I did this time. I need to put a little sticky, don't push. All right, hopefully those will come back on. Hello? Mics are back on, can you hear us? Okay. There we go, okay. All right. Before us on, tonight, on our second planning commission case is planning commission case 2025-27. This is Eastport Village. This is a final PUD. Board action is to approve the first reading. On March 4th, our planning commission forwarded a unanimous recommendation to conditionally approve Eastport Village final PUD. What we would do is hold that first reading tonight. If we approve it, our great clerk will publish it, and we will have final adoption set for May 4th. So we have our options there. Did you guys want to put stuff on the screen? I can too. Okay. Introduce yourself, please, and I will push the right button.
Okay. Good evening. Dominic Mosheri Companies, 3005 University Drive, Auburn Hills, Michigan. I'm sure you're all kind of up to snuff on the property that's in discussion. Eastport Village surrounds the, this encompasses the Jacobson Flora site. The site straddles part of the village as well as, I would say, 85% into the township. Single-family homes, live-work townhomes on the south side, a commercial village market is being proposed, and we have a parkland pickleball court with playground located at the south side of the property. To kind of give you a brief background, we do have full planning commission approval from the Village of Lake Orion. There is a drafted and mostly signed off interlocal agreement between the village and the township. There are some outstanding items from your consultants that we are happy to discuss tonight as well. But with that being said, I'm all yours.
Great. I hope we're all familiar with this. We had a joint public hearing with our planning commission and the village.
Yes.
Mr. Flood, you have your hand up. I'm gonna let you jump in.
When you're ready to do a motion, you want me to do the motion, or want me to get
Yeah,
hold? I can get hold of Don Gross. He does better motions than I do, Don.
I'll take your shut up nicely and I'll be quiet and you go ahead.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to declare the first reading was held on March 4th, 2026 for PC 2527 Eastport Village Final Plan Unit Development, PUD, plan, located at 571 South Lapeer Road, parcel number 0911-427-004, 0911-427-006, and 0911-427-007, in 5 South Broadway Street, parcel number 0911-427-016, N 0911-427-017, referencing plans, date, stamp received February 5th, 2025, and direct the clerk to publish for second reading and possible approval and adoption on May 4th, 2026, for the reasons and with conditions given by the Planning Commission at their March 4th, 2026 meeting.
Okay,
Support.
thank you. Moved and supported. So now that we have a motion and support, we can officially discuss and ask questions if there are any. Mr. Flood.
I see George is here from the Village Council. Thank you, George, for attending our meetings. What I like about this is we come into an agreement with the village to have this whole complex here put on the village water and sewer system. And I like that because I think this is going to help them. The more ratepayers they can get on that system to help alleviate the cost of upgrading your water and sewer system. So the more ratepayers you get on there, and you're going to be putting all the new infrastructure in, that's not costing them or us one penny. That'll be up to today's standards too. So the more ratepayers can get on the system, the easier it's going to be to pay off those bonds. And I think that's a win-win. And that's nice to be able to work together with both municipalities. That's my comment.
Can I just add to his comment really quick?
Yeah.
To your point, Mr. Flood, there is a looped water main and sewer system that's going to be attaching across the east side of the Paint Creek Trail. So we are in discussions with the Paint Creek Trail Commission. I don't know where we stand on that regard, but that is kind of one of the items that's outstanding on this project as well, is getting an easement from the Paint Creek Trail Commission in order to loop the water and sewer.
Ms. Dalrymple?
The Paint Creek Trail meets tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Fantastic.
A comment and a question. I'll start with a question. Is there any update on the front retail building?
I actually have a meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock with a potential user. We've met with a lot of potential users. It's kind of hard to get somebody to confirm that they're going to lease it from us. We don't have a full approval yet, so it's kind of.
Most of those people have called me.
Yes, I'm sure they have.
And some of them are awesome. I mean, I haven't talked to one that wouldn't be, I don't think, welcome in the community, but I'm not able to share at this time. However, my comment is, as much flack as some developers get around town, we are so blessed that you continue to invest in our community. I mean it. I mean, I came from this industry for 20 years, almost, maybe not quite, and then I've sat on this side of the table for almost as long. And when your company says you're going to do something, you do it, and usually more. And that goes a long way, because we're used to people trying to cut corners, find ways to do things cheaper, give us an inferior product, cut trees out. And every experience that we've had in this community, bar none, has been the opposite of that. So thank you for investing in our community. If people, well, I don't see a lot of people in the room, and we'll open up to public comment, but there have been way more intense uses proposed here on this site. I think that would have been detrimental. I didn't support, but I fully support this. And then just the fact that when you do get the pushback and you listen and you deleted buildings and put in pickleball courts that will be open to the public, that goes a long way, at least with me, listening to, and you're not just a developer trying to make a buck and leave, you are here. So thank you. I want to say that. You probably don't get that very often, and if I get flack for that, it's okay, because I think it's sincere and it's true. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's our pleasure. It's not our first project in the community, and it's not going to be our last. So it's our pleasure, and we're happy to be part of it.
We've got a couple more that are already approved, and we're excited for you to start whenever you so choose. All right. Any other comments from board members or questions? Open it up to the public. Are there any? Oh, Ms. Hogendorf.
I just had a question for our engineer regarding the letter from February 18th. How does the process work as far as, because we don't have the information from Eagle yet, correct? And how would that change any of this process?
So it's pretty common in terms of they go through the process and we apply for Eagle permit, and then all those entitlements, they have to be secured prior to them breaking ground. So it's a pretty common process that, site plan stage today, construction drawing review, hopefully permits get secured, and then we have a pre-con meeting, so all those entitlements are in place prior to them starting construction.
Nothing would happen until then.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from board? Any public comment now? Seeing no one come forward, bring it up back here to Clerk Dalrymple to please call the roll. The motion is to declare the first reading held.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Hogendorf.
Yes.
Barnett.
Yes.
Lovett.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Have a
Congrats.
good night.
Look forward to working with you on this. Thank you, Sam. For not allowing me to push the wrong button. Next item, it's the little things that make us happy.
You're getting rusty, Chris. You're a little rusty.
Been some stressful days, guys, honestly. Holy cow. Next, item D, second reading of our peddlers and solicitors regulation ordinance amendment. We had this in front of us last month. Ms. Hilgendorf made a really good suggestion to not include the fees, but to put those in our fee schedule so that if we want to change that, and we have incorporated that. Anything else you want to add, Ms. Dalrymple?
No, just wrapping this back up.
So I entertain a motion to declare the second reading of the ordinance 95 to be held on March 16th.
I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of the text amendments to the following sections of ordinance 95, peddlers and solicitors regulations, section 4, license application process, section 5, license section 6, license fee, and section 8, hours of operation, and direct the township clerk to publish said ordinance.
Support.
Moved by Lovett, supported by Hilgendorf. Any comments from the board?
Good work.
We're excited to get this one cleaned up and out to residents and get everything moving.
Any public comment on our new solicitor and peddler ordinance update? Roll call vote, please.
Dalrymple, yes. Barnett.
Yes.
Hogendorf.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Lovett.
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next is a proposed resolution. I was waiting for additional information. I didn't get, so I put it in front of you as is. I'm going to make this motion that we declare this resolution in opposition to the passage of Michigan House Bills 5529 to 5532 and 5581 to 5585 regarding local municipal zoning authority. The reason, and this walks through, I'm sorry?
Support.
Oh, thank you, sorry. Thank you. The board knows this, but all of you here that are watching in person, but the millions at home, as we like to say, there hasn't been a more hot-button issue in the 14 years I've sat in this seat than this, coming from Lansing down on all 1,773 cities, villages, and townships in our state. Not one. This has brought together folks from all political backgrounds and views, because this has to do with whose voice is more important. I'm going to boil it down for you. The people that come in this room and give public comment at that podium and spend hours and hours and hours and design charrettes helping us come up with our master plan, and I meant to bring it. That's about this thick. That took us 2 years to do our last master plan update. That came up with things like the Gingiville Overlay District, thoughtful planning to design our community. Do those voices matter? The people, our 36,000 customers, or do the people that represent us in Lansing, who right now I don't think are doing a good job of that, are their voices more important? And it's really not their voices. It's the people that are paying them to have their voices being heard. And the people that are paying them on these bills are the realtors, the National Home Builders Association, and we love our home builders. And we've met with many of them, including some that might be in this room that won't be named right now, who have been very supportive of our feelings on this. And the Airbnb groups. The Airbnb groups are pushing this well. There's some communities on the west side of our state that have become one-story hotels, meaning neighborhoods that used to have kids that ran in the streets and went to school and rode the buses are now not there because an investment company out of Utah came in and bought whole city blocks. These bills do things like, it's all in the resolution here, would permit duplexes on any, single-family zone properties. Take away our, allow, setbacks, 5 foot would be a side yard setback, the max setback, 25 feet would be a rear yard setback. We just had a developer offer 75 feet. Where they offered additional parking, the most parking we could require on a multifamily unit is 1 spot per unit. We don't have those rules here because that's not how people will live and work in Orion. And that might be how they live and work in Ann Arbor, but we don't need Lansing to tell us what to do. And then the big thing for me is more the infrastructure, and I just want to take a minute to show, I think some of my colleagues on the board have seen this, but this is a nerdy slide. Thank you to OHM for putting this together for us and also doing this for us for free, I think. Now that it's on the record, it has to be. But what this shows is, by the way, a couple other things I want to share. The maximum lot size, one of these bills, the maximum lot size, not the minimum, the maximum lot size that we could specify is 1,500 square feet. That's smaller than this room. That's about, the minimum dwelling unit is 500 square feet. We don't have anything like that in our zoning, and that might be something we want to move toward. But what I want to put on the screen for a minute and talk about just for a minute is our infrastructure can't handle that. Our infrastructure, all of our sewage goes through, it used to be called Detroit Water and Sewer, now it's called Great Lakes Water Authority, and I'm not going to bore you with all of the data and the pipes because we do have that as well, and if you really want to see that, I'll show you. But basically, we took one sewer district that's highlighted in green, or whatever color that is to you. That's an area that is, has an opportunity for some higher density, but has similar zoning that other areas in our community have where it's less dense as you get off the main corridor, Baldwin. Current zoning shows 1,210 acres. Of that, you have about 1,060 developable when you take out the water and wetlands and drains, and then you take out 20% for roads and right-of-way. And you look at the current zoning classifications, which is R1, R2, R3, and you can see our small single-family lots, 8,400. If these laws pass, our biggest that we would allow it to be mandate would be 1,500. So more than 5 times less than that. That says we have the opportunity for about 2,087 dwelling units in that sewer district with a population factor of 3.5 people per unit. That's 7,300 people. And our sewer is designed for that. If the proposed legislation goes through, the orange, same, obviously, acreage. You can see the lot size would go to 1,500 square feet. That gives you 24,000 dwelling units, 1.5 people per unit. So obviously, we would put less people in smaller units. That's 37,000 people. That's the entire population of the township in that one sewer district. And that might all be fine and dandy, but I would contend that our infrastructure doesn't support that. We don't have the road capacity, but more importantly, in this example, we don't have the sewer capacity. We would love to continue hooking everyone up in our community to sewer, but the pipes that go to the city, we have pipes that go out of our community 2 different ways. One kind of goes out toward Pontiac, the other one goes out down through kind of out by the village to Macomb. They all actually end up meeting in Macomb, and we all just pay that Macomb OMID, Oakland Macomb Interceptor Drain. And I talked to Candace Miller, who oversees that for Macomb County, and it's billions of dollars to upgrade the infrastructure. The bottom line is, if the proposed housing legislation would increase the population by 5x, push the sewage flows by more than 3.5 times the current sewer capacity, the current pipes capacity. So, and by the way, this is just one sewer district, which is only 5% of the township. Yet it would exceed the township's legally established contracted sewer capacity allocation, leaving zero capacity for other growth. So those folks that were just here, that just had their redevelopment, or their first step of their proposed rezone done, if this legislation went through and they weren't ready, and someone came through and started getting projects approved, then we have to decide who gets that sewer capacity. The bottom line is, Lansing doesn't know what's best for Orion Township, and we need to tell them, we need to yell and scream it loud from the rooftops. So Thank you to OHM and Jim Stevens. But we are not anti-development here. I have been to Lansing multiple times on this, got kicked out of a meeting last Wednesday because we're passionate, but we need to speak up. So if you're listening, I will tell you that our state representative, Donnie Steele, is very strong in support of us keeping our local control, our local zoning, but there are lots of folks that don't, both parties. So that said, I will stop talking, but the motion is to approve this resolution that will send to Lansing and all over the place. Mike, and then Matt.
Okay. When you're dealing with Lansing, in this case here, they're thinking that one size fits all. Common sense, it doesn't work. You want representation, like you get here at the local level, whether it be the township here or the village of Lake Orion. We live here. If you have a problem, now you got to drive to Lansing. Good luck with that. State government needs to stay out of our business. This is increased now where the state government's taking more of the local authority away again. And it's just common sense. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. That's it.
All right. Mr. Pfeiffer.
It's infuriating, and I would hope that everybody would be pissed about this. If you don't like what we're doing, you can come here and talk to us, as said, but who is involved in it? I think that's the right question to ask, because we, part of our board, a good chunk of us, went down to a press conference to fight this, along with over 100 other elected officials, and within a couple of days, 1,300, and I think it's much higher than that.
Over 2,000 now.
Over 2,000 elected officials signed against this, signed and said, we do not want this, don't do this. When asked, and we asked directly, and it doesn't matter which party, there's Republicans and Democrats supporting this and pushing it through. When we asked, when are you going to consult with us? When do we get our say? You have plenty of chance to say you haven't done anything. Well, it's not true. We constantly are doing things, and there's programs all over the state that address housing. There's nothing that proves this will address affordable housing, and the people who are involved, I suspect, are mostly people who are going to benefit financially from this. And as Supervisor mentioned, speak to Donnie Steele, who's our current representative in Lansing, and we have an election coming up in just a few short months. And I would talk to anybody, if you're in the community and you're looking for who to support when it comes to the state rep and Senate position, ask them how they stand on this bill and take a look at it, and you're going to find a clear difference in where people sit. Vote somebody in who's going to go in and fight for our community. And you need to be involved, because this is dangerous stuff, dangerous for our community.
Yeah. I haven't found one. I want to be very transparent. I have led the charge on this for Southeast Michigan. I was the chair of SEMCOG. We were holding originally the press conference here in this building, right here, on 3 weeks ago, until we realized we were going to have way more than 25 or 30 people, and we had 105 elected officials come on one day's notice, and so we went to Detroit. But we had everybody from the mayor of Lansing, the mayor of Detroit, to small Orion Township and everything in between, standing side by side, and we have different priorities, but just saying, we don't need Lansing to come on us with a sledgehammer. And it's concerning. And there are people that are interested in running and serving our community that have different views on this bill, on this set of bills. So to Matt's point, you need to ask the people who want to serve our community, do you think it's more important for Lansing to make decisions, or for you? Our master plan isn't what Chris Barnett and Julia and Matt and Jack wanted. We had multiple meetings and over 600 individuals engaged in the process, and we put all that in, and that's how we came up with this plan. All right.
One thought I meant to make, or a point, I grew up in Keatington, when it was first built. Keatington's a very established neighborhood that most people in the community are familiar with. If a house burned down in Keatington, like mine did when I was younger, with this regulation, what goes back on that property is no longer Keatington's say or our say. It's those state bills say. That could be a duplex, which is, they're allowed to do anywhere if these bills pass. That could be a mobile home. Think about your property values. Our job is to protect the property values and your investment in this community, and we will no longer be able to do that, and we won't be able to do anything about it when you come and you're upset. So this is our time to stand. That's it.
And there are developers that absolutely do it right, some might be in this room, that would never do that. But we lose the authority to decide how we want our community to look. And there are some communities that need to have their rules updated, but most of us have it figured out. That's enough on that. Thank you. Jim, I gotta figure out how to say that more eloquently, because that was terrible. You can train me, because I should just thrown it to you to explain. Well, you get the point. And none of you in this room or on TV probably even can see what we're even looking at, but we'll make it available to you. All right, motion and support. All in favor of adopting the resolution in opposition to these bills, say aye.
Should that be a
Aye.
roll call for a resolution?
If it's consensus, you don't need it. I learned that at our Robert's rules, but let's see. Anyone opposed? I think we can safely say it's unanimous. Do I need to do a roll call?
I generally say, as a general rule, it's always good to do it for a resolution.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Clerk Dalrymple, will you please call the roll?
Love it.
Yes.
Hogendorf, I know. Flood.
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes. Barnett.
Yes. Unanimous. Thank you. 6-0. Thank you. All right, last are our reports. And I'm gonna ask if we can do the youth council report first. We should have done that first. I know, Daphne, thank you for being here. Am I gonna get in trouble if I do that?
No.
Daphne, tell us what's going on with the youth council. Thanks for being here on your, by the way, congrats on your no power day. Oh. I hate to tell you, but the superintendent had me working with DTE today, and you're gonna have school tomorrow. Sorry about that. But anyway, we have an amazing youth advisory council. We're going out of order tonight, but, thanks for being patient, and hopefully you'll learn something tonight. But tell us what you guys are working on, please. Is your mic on, by the way, just to make sure they can hear you on TV? Is it green? There you go. Thank you.
So it's going a little bit slower, but we're getting progress done. We're working on Government Day, which is going to be a day where we have 8th graders come from hopefully the 3 middle schools. We have both Walden, I think. Yeah, we have Walden and Scripps approved, and Oakview we're waiting for a response to meet and talk about it. So we've gotten May 21st is the official date, and then it's going to be like a select amount of 8th graders from each school who are interested in, our community's government and seeing those structures, how it works, including like the fires and police stations and like hopefully you guys.
Yes.
And we're reaching out. Chelsea's working on busing. We're gonna work on doing food and T-shirts. I know I'm making the flyer. And we're just trying to get everything really in action. It is in May, so we have a good amount of time. So we're not gonna make it messy. We're gonna make sure that it works.
And so I kind of know, but to someone that's watching from home, why are we doing this? Why do we want to get 8th graders interested in this?
So I know I'm a junior in high school, and when I was in 8th grade, there aren't really many opportunities to learn about your government or go into that legal path or law enforcement, anything like that. All you really have is American history, and that's pretty cool. But if you want to actually try to get into action and see what is happening today, I think this is a good idea.
I totally agree. And some of you heard me say this, you guys have up here for sure. Some of the big changes that have happened in the last 10 years have come from ideas from youth council folks. So Daphne, you're awesome. Thank you for being here. Is there anything we can do to support you?
Kind of just spread the word. I'm gonna get that flyer out before the school's spring break. We can repost it on socials, print it
Yes.
out. If you have an 8th grader at home, even 7th grader, we're hoping to do it next year. Let them know about it, get them interested in this. I think most schools are gonna be doing like a interest form to see which 8th graders can go, would want to go. I know one of the schools is probably gonna be selecting students and seeing if they wanna go from there, but.
Well, thank you. And I know it's more than you, but, and a huge kudos to Chelsea, our Assistant Parks and Rec Director, who is, kind of the liaison and kind of helps with the youth council, but, I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and, I have some other ideas we'll talk about offline, so. Any other comments or questions? May 21st is gonna be an awesome day, Government Day here, here and abroad, but it's gonna, a lot of that activity is gonna be happening here. So I would entertain a motion to receive and file the report from the Youth Advisory Council.
So moved.
Pfeiffer and Hilgendorf, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Good news, Daphne, the newspaper's here tonight. They might write about that. His name is Jim. You can talk to him on the way out. Thank you. And if you need to leave because you're not gonna sleep till 1 p.m. tomorrow, you can scoot out of here. Oh. All right, deal. All right, I should have made you wait then. All right, next item. We're gonna go back to the regular order. Police and fire reports in your packet, regular stuff. It's online as well. Motion to approve, or receive and file.
Make a motion to receive and file police and fire reports.
Lovett and Hilgendorf, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next is the MMRMA Risk Avoidance Program. That's what RAP stands for, Grant Awards. This is good news. We love free money. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
Support.
Dalrymple, love it. I'll pull this up real quick, just so, I want to show you the next one too, so I'll get caught up here with my. This is for $10,000 for, drone that we bought. It's gonna be sitting someplace undisclosed. I can't share that, but, drone is a first responder that the sheriff's office will use as a tool and fire. And then $804 for cyber security training for employees. And I am on this board, the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Association, so that's good stuff. All in any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Thanks to Sam and Lieutenant on that. And then, our last report is our planning and zoning report for February 2026.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Support.
And this is always, we won't spend a lot of time on this, but again, on our website, tells you all the things going on, what things the planning commission's talking about, shows you that really cool pie chart that you cannot see, I promise you right now, but I can see it, for what the ZBA is up to, but this is a really nice report, appreciate that from our planning and zoning director, Tammy and team. Who, Lovett and Flood, was that?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next, we come to public comment. Would anyone like to address the board? Please just state your name and address for the record, thank you.
Believe it or not.
Happy to have you.
John Sharp, 659 Beardsley and Bunny Run. Guess what I want to talk about? Probably know already. I did hear what you said earlier, so I'm going to kind of take that into account. But I've been there for 3.5 years. The roads go from bad to worse. And the hard part for us is that we moved there because my wife needs medical treatment. So there's some times when she's got to get out of there stat. I've had to take her to the hospital probably half a dozen times. She has to use her hand bra, you know. She's got a bad bridge, you know, rattled her bridge loose in her teeth. And I think the most frustrating part for me is that I've sent emails to kind of say, and they weren't mean emails, they were just, hey, is there a solution here? Can I help? Is there something that I could do? My brother worked for the road commission in Roscommon for 23 years. I talked to him about it. He told me some things. I wrote the emails in the spirit of helping. And I know everybody knows it's a problem. If you've ever driven on those roads, there's no question it's a problem. And I heard what you said about the brining and the gravel, and I think that'll help. But, I mean, is that really a solution long-term? You know, I think Oakland County Road Commission can only do so much. They're pretty responsive. I mean, I've called them a few times and gone on their portal and, you know, they'll respond. But it just seems like the problem is not gonna go away. And I don't know if maybe there's not a solution, but, you know, I would like to be part of that solution if you think there is one. And then the other thing was that I had in my email was that about the Butler Beardsley Johnson project. When I first moved here, I got right caught in the middle of it. When I first tax bill I got was almost $5,000, and I went, what the? And I didn't know about the project. I just, you know, it was in the paperwork, I'm sure. But I was told at that time that whole loop was going to be like blacktopped. And from what I can tell, we got a blacktop hill, and that's about all there was. And so I don't know if that's a done deal or if that's the end of the project. I asked about that. So I think that's really where, you know, pretty much what I wanted to relay. And it was just because I've sent 3 emails and I never got a response. And so I said, well, if I go and talk to everybody, they can't not hear me unless they put their earplugs in. So, that's really why I'm here. I just want to see if we can do something. Sounds like you got some things going to make the roads better, and I hope that there's some long-term solution available. So thank you.
Sir, I'll finish taking public comment, and then I'll respond to that, because we don't go back and forth. Thank you. Is there any other public comment tonight? Okay, seeing no one come forward. First, just on that, because we're shifting into board member comment, but I'll just respond to this, and then I'll bring it back up here to the rest of the folks. Sorry you didn't get a response. I see your email. I typically, those emails the road stuff gets answered by someone, but I apologize on that. Because we try to, we certainly need to respond to everyone. That said, when I talked about the gravel going on roads, those are the main gravel roads, and there's a different word, primary gravel roads. The subdivision roads get essentially no love. We are a township. We get about $212,000, I think, this year of road funding, and that comes by way of tri-party. So we only get it if we get $212,000 if we chip in $212,000, and the road commission chips in and the county chips in. And we can only use those to fix drainage issues or projects that have safety issues. We added a turn lane at the middle school. We've done some passing lanes. That money will essentially never be spent in a subdivision. The challenge of living in a township is that. The good news is your taxes are significantly lower than if you lived in a city or village. But we get essentially no funding for roads. So the only way roads get repaired and fixed is we rely on the road commission the best we can, and they will do what you see, patching, and we don't beat them up too much because they work with the resources they have available in neighborhoods. And then the other way the roads get done is through special assessments, which I have to look. Do you know an assessment in those streets? That wasn't for paving, was it?
The majority is for gravel. Hold on, I'm pulling it up again.
So what that means is, we don't get, now this, you know, if you listen to Lansing, they're sending all this more money, all this additional money to do roads. And what that means in our township for next year, as of right now, we have no additional roads being paved. So while Lansing and everybody there is patting themselves on the back and all this money they fixed the damn roads with, it hasn't shown up in Oakland County yet. We're pushing for some projects, but neighborhood roads will only be done through special assessment. It's a self-imposed tax. Neighbors get together and say, we want to pave our road, we want to put new gravel, we want to chloride it more than what it gets chlorided. They come to my office or our office, and we help with that process, but it really is citizen-driven. It's the number one complaint we get is about roads, and the thing that we have the least control over. I apologize sincerely you didn't get a response to your email, because that's not like us, but we will do better at that. But as far as, and I will follow up with you separately beyond this, but just letting you know, it's the bane of our existence, because we get the calls, we get the complaints, we don't get the money, and we don't own the roads. The county owns, your roads are owned by the Road Commission for Oakland County, and they're spending all their money on the main roads. And I'll let you ask one more. Normally we don't do this, but, yeah, I'll let you just ask one more question and then, because we didn't respond to you, sorry.
Ever been a situation where you have inquired the residents about a special assessment? Would they be willing to, say, throw in X amount to be able to blacktop or to have additional maintenance, maybe by a second source, outside company? Would that be a possibility?
One time we've done that in my 14 years here. Every other time we've done it dozens of times is always started by a citizen that comes in and gets the petitions and organizes. Because when we do it, the chances of success are almost zero, because we're the government telling you what you have to do. But when you're a neighbor and you knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, I went to the township, they're never gonna pave our roads. It's not on any list. It will never happen. So we can either live with it like this and just have it ultimately go back to just horrible gravel, or we can pay to get it paved. There's a lot more chance, and we help you through that process. We give you the petitions, we tell you what you need to do. It's Lizzie who's right through that door, the first person you see, and we do that all the time. They're not all successful, but that's where they have a chance to succeed. When we, the one time we tried to force it, it wasn't, there were safety concerns and issues, and it was a giant mess. So typically, we don't just go around saying, we're gonna add, and the cost of paving has gone up so much. The last couple we've looked at has been upwards of $10,000 a house, depending how big your lot's. In Bloomfield, I had lunch with the supervisor down there today, and their SADs are like $25,000 and up per lot to pave. Now, they have big subdivisions and big lots, but it's a challenge. So, but mostly, I'm sorry we didn't respond to you, and I see your email here, and we'll do better. And I will respond to you separately also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other public comment? Bring it up here to the board, and we will start with Mr. Lovett tonight.
Don't have much, just do something kind for a neighbor.
Mr. Flood.
Well, I want to thank Daphne for the great presentation for their student council. For the government day, I felt that way since I went to high school, and went to junior high in Lake Orion. We do a great job on state and federal government, nothing with local. And most of your actions is with local government, you know, between us and the village. A lot of people who live here doesn't know that we have two different types of municipalities and how our townships and villages and cities are done in the state of Michigan. So, kudos, congratulations. Someday you can be sitting right here too. Or you can be in the big chair. See?
Please, yeah, yes.
And lastly, tomorrow is my family heritage day, so I want to wish everybody a happy Irish day tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. Please drink responsibly and enjoy your Guinness. That's it.
Harry got the memo. She and Julia.
You got the tie?
I didn't.
Hey.
Matt?
My turn? Or you're judging that I'm not wearing green?
Both.
Daphne, thank you, and I know I heard you mention fire and police and the exciting places that Government Day is gonna take place, but, a lot of people don't realize Treasury is actually the most exciting department in a, government, so, we look forward to inviting you to Treasury. And, Joe Johnson, what a frickin' gem this town has in him. I am so thankful that he's here. And I'm really glad that we were finally able to honor him as he deserves. Joe is documenting our history, and I look back, I'm trying to find stuff for a project that our comms team's doing, I can't find anything. You won't be able to say that about this township. From 20 years ago going forward, everything's documented, and we're really lucky to have him, and so that's super cool. For those who weren't here for the workshop, which is probably the millions out there since we weren't on during the beginning, we have the library 100-year celebration coming up, and that's on May 21st. And just encourage everybody to go out and support May 1st, Friday, May 1st, 7 p.m. And what a cool event they're doing to celebrate 100 years, so I encourage you to go support that. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Daraboo, you've been pretty busy.
Busy, yeah. We just finished today our BSNA software conversion turned on this morning, so I know I sent a message to the board, but if you would like some training, the high level, to kind of see how that works, because it is very different than our current system, we are happy to do that for you. Big thank you to the team who put in the time to go do field trips and visit other municipalities who are also already making the transition, so we have been feeling very good around here. Congratulations to Joe Johnson. You can't go to any event in Lake Orion without seeing his face or a camera right there with him. So I'm so excited for him for that. And Daphne, as the teacher of the group, I love that you are thinking of getting the kids out here. I have a 7th grader and a 6th grader, so they'll be looking forward to this day coming soon. And to John, we hope you're feeling really good. It was a nice treat when we saw that he gave a thumbs up and a heart to a message last night. So I know for at least myself, when I saw that, I was like, oh, that was good. So keep getting stronger, and we will see you back here in your chair very soon.
Miss Irish, Miss St. Patty's Day.
Just continued well wishes for fellow trustee John Carson, and happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, and if you celebrate, just celebrate responsibly.
Green nails. She like is in.
All right, for me, I'll try to be brief, but a couple things. First of all, I just want to say thank you to you all. We don't always agree, but I love the way we work together on behalf of our 40,000 bosses. And sincerely, this was every other board meeting is my Monday that I have lunch with the other supervisors, and I won't name them, but even the stress we have and the things that we have going on, really grateful for the working relationships we have and the appropriate way we do business, because unfortunately, that doesn't seem to exist. But so sincerely to each of you. And everyone brings something unique to the table. I'm not going to, I said I was going to be brief, but we got our historian, we have our Carrie, without the details, it's just really, it's really fun. The millage stuff and for the budget, discussions going into the millage elections, which we plan on having our police and fire millages on the ballot in August. We will have that on our next agenda to have further discussions, but as I said, as we were wrapping those meetings, you had 3 really great presentations, 2 that we control, the library, they're gonna come up with their own ideas and present something to us, but police and fire, Lieutenant Weir and Zemfening Z will be the one that will be here going forward in the next week, or a week from now. So he'll be taking over, but he has been here for 10 years, he knows. But please meet with them. Please understand their needs, their asks. The police millage is a very small increase. I would say very small, it's a lot less than the increase we got from the county and the contracts. Fire is more significant, but this is kind of the continued evolution of going from a fully part-time department to a fully full-time transporting Class A service. Not that they don't provide Class A service, Kyle and Chief, but you do. But please, meet with these guys. Ask them 100 questions, because next meeting, we have 2 meetings before May 12th. And because our second meeting in April is canceled, as a reminder to all of you, because most of us will be at a conference that day. We have a lot of work to do. And I know every single person up here takes it very serious when we're asking people for their hard-earned money. So that's what we're up to. And then I'm gonna end on a good note, but on one more sour note, the county's doing us no services. You can print this. The only way we get a response from them is if I go to a Board of Commissioners meeting and I get timed out on my 3-minute public comment. I even wrote it last week because I never write anything down, but I wanted to say succinctly that they are not providing us service. We rely on them, and there should be some accountability, and hopefully the newspapers and the media will start giving them more, holding them more accountable, because we can't do our jobs without the information. And in this case, they promised us something in November, and in Orion Township, it's March. And we have 2 meetings left to figure out how much money we're asking for police services from our residents, and they still can't figure out what they're telling us when they promised us they'd have us numbers in March. And I've been texting and emailing and begging, and meeting in person with people, and I get nothing but platitudes. And, so this weekend, I was threatened by the Board of Commissioners, and my ability to demand things anymore has been cut off, so I guess I'll let the rest of the board speak for us now, but I'm not trying to be friends with people. I'm happy to be friends with people, but I'm just trying to do the job for my 40,000 bosses, our 40,000 bosses, and we can't do it with the current environment. And it's not a Republican or Democrat thing, and they're making it that. We're trying to run a business here, and we need information from them, and they refuse to give us the information they promised us they would give us. So yeah, I'm still angry because I have a lot better things to do than drive down and sit through hours of meetings on my time. So I'm frustrated. Jim, if you want to write about that, that'd be great. Last, John Carson, you're a hero to me. Matt and I just missed each other, just visiting him Thursday before he went into surgery, but he gives his whole life to this community, even before he was on this board. He's doing all these things behind the scenes to make our community a better place. And it was really hard for me to not be emotional when I was with him Thursday, because he was. And I didn't sleep Thursday night. I woke up at 5 a.m. when I knew they were wheeling him in. We're all texting each other about John. So happy to, like you said, to see the thumbs up, like he came out of that, because that was, he was scared, and I think we all were, and that's amazing. So prayer works, he said it, and I agree. With that, we got a meeting in April. We have 2 weeks from now is the 30th. We have 5 Mondays this month, so we have a meeting in 3 weeks, and then we have a meeting in 5 weeks. So, and we'll have a lot to do with both those meetings. Thank you all. This is our longest meeting in a long time, but it's good. We got a lot of good things happening. 8:39, who wants to move adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Flood?
Support.
Pfeiffer, all in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.